Welcome back everybody to For Fun Friday, where I, your cold-beridden host, plays some Yu-Gi-Oh! And shows you a deck you may not have known existed, and even if you did, I'll show you how to fail with it, because that's generally how this show goes. But we are going to pick up a deck, play 5 or so games with it, and generally have a relaxing time. I hope you have your brew of choice with you. I've got my hot tea, even though I literally can't stand drinking it, because my throat is killing me. I do have cough drops in me right now, so if you can hear them, I apologize in advance. Today, we're going to take a look at what is essentially my pet peeve deck at this point. I have tried to make this deck work for so long, and it all started as a joke, but this is the final version that I am currently playing. Today, we're playing Phantom Thieves. Now you may be looking at this and going, wait a minute, is this a Persona reference? Yes, it's a Persona reference. The entire thing is a Persona reference. Let's just get to it to sort of make you understand how this works. We tried to manipulate the use of both the Phantom Knight engine as well as the Time Thieves to build a board with an insane amount of negates that a lot of people seem to underestimate. The issue? We die to a lot of hand traps, meaning it is incredibly inconsistent. When it pops off, however, oh boy does it pop off. Let's start with the Time Thief part as it is the most important line of play in this deck. We're playing 2 Adjuster, 2 Winder, 2 Basil Ship, and 3 Regulator. The card that we want to open with is Regulator. If this is our only monster on board, we can tribute it to special summon 2 Time Thief monsters from our deck with different names. This will target Adjuster and Winder. Winder will search us either Retrograde or Flyback, depending on which one we don't have in hand. Retrograde is the preferred one. And Adjuster will send Basil Ship to the graveyard. A single Regulator will end us on a board of 5 negates. That's pretty freaking good, given that the entire combo goes through without our entire existence exploding. On top of that, we're playing 3 Honorary Birds, Raider's Wing, Singing Lanius, and Strangled Lanius. All of these act as extenders to make sure that our combo can work in conjunction with Force Strix and Weiss Strix in our extra deck, so they are pivotal. However, we do not want to see these in our hand. They're not necessarily bricks, but we still don't want them there. We want to search all of them. Then, we have the PK engine. 3 Torn Scale, 2 Phantom Boots, and 2 Phantom Cloaks. The simple reason for this is we don't necessarily need any more of them, because we can cycle them very easily using Torn Scale. This, in conjunction with 3 Shade Brigandine, we need it for a reason, and 3 Fogblade, being the best trap they have to offer. On top of that, we are playing 2 rank-up magic cards, the first of being Soul Shave Force. Soul Shave Force, by paying half of our life points, allows us to target a Raid Raptor Exceed monster in our graveyard, special summon it, and then special summon an extra deck that is 2 ranks higher. So an Exceed monster, right? So we can special back one of our 4 Strixes and make it into a Cyber Dragon Infinity. That's insane. We are also playing Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force, which we will search with Bardiche or Boots half the time, so we can go into Dark Requiem Exceed Dragon, being our main negator on board. This deck is incredibly reliant on going first, meaning we need to do our best to make sure that our going second is as decent as possible. We're playing 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Psyframe Gear Gamma along with the accompanying driver, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Imperial Order, and 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Generally speaking, they are kind of just support cards in the deck that you can adapt and change depending on whatever you want. It all depends on meta, all depends on where you are. I feel like these are very safe bets, but feel free to change any of them for whatever you happen to like. In the extra deck, we have the aforementioned Infinity to act as one of our negates. Arc Rebellion Exceed Dragon is our game ender. You will hopefully get to see this card in action. Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon is our going first play. Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon is needed for both of these cards to function. Raider's Knight is a very interesting case because this card can sack a material to go straight into Arc Rebellion. We're running 2 Force Strixes because this is needed for the combo. 1 Time Thief Double Barrel, and this is the main reason we're playing Shade Brigandine. Double Barrel is crazy. Comparison to Redoer, Redoer steals a card every single standby phase and is able to use their effects whenever they want. Double Barrel, on the other hand, can't steal any cards. It's dependent on what's already on it. However, if it has a trap on it, you can negate the effect of an effect monster on the field until the end of the turn, as well as monster cards giving it 400 attack. If we somehow manage to put a spell on it, we can take control of a face-up monster our opponent controls. This can be done with cards like Perpetua, which allows us to just attach things, However, it does need to be from our deck, so if you want to do that, make sure you have one of the Time Thief spell cards. But I can also bring back both Double Barrel and Redoer, which could be handy. Speaking of which, we also have a Redoer, in case we need it. Keep in mind that cards like Retrograde and Flyback need a Time Thief on the field to be able to activate, so there's that. We're playing one Phantom Knights of Breaksword, because it combos well with Bardiche and is also a destruction effect. We have a Bardiche, of course, we're playing Phantom Knight, so this is a must. We're playing one Cherubini, because this can help us in case our hand bricks to actually extend into Bardiche. We're playing one Weistrix, as it is part of the regular combo. And then we have a fill slot. In this last extra deck slot, you can generally play whatever you feel like. I felt like putting in Blacklisted Soldier of Chaos, because this card desperately needed a reprint and didn't get one. Now, with that out of the way, let me show you what these Phantom Thieves can do. We'll try again for game number 2 with Ronald Weasley, and we do get to go first, which is heavenly. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled view, as our hand is really bad. Our hand is actually terrible. Not going to lie here, this is going to be a really hard one, because I don't think there's a way we can necessarily do what we want to do here. Regardless, we are going to normal summon Time Thief Adjuster, activate Adjuster's effect, and hope we can throw a Basil Ship into the graveyard. If we can still save this hand. If we cannot, not going to be good. We get Effect Veiler, which is horrible. We're going to go for Shade Brigadine here, and we're going to immediately activate the Shade Brigadine in order to make ourselves the first Force Strix. Here, we're going to activate the effect of Singing Lanius, and we are not going to... do we have to, actually? Yeah, this really sucks. We actually have to activate this in order to get our Raider's Wing. We don't want to do that, but in this specific scenario, we have to. We're going to use Raider's Wing's effect to special summon it to this side of the field, then go for the Strangulanius, which is going to allow us to summon this here. For this now, we are kind of locked out because we are not able to do our full combo thanks to opening all the birds. So Raidraptor Weistrix currently is kind of a dead card. Really unfortunate here. We could choose to just go into our Time Thieves, but we don't have a trap card available, so that's not an entirely good play either. We don't have any birds for Weistrix to summon off of its effect, so that's dead. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to use these in order to summon Bardiche. We're going to activate Bardiche's effect, and we are going to send probably a Silent Boots to the graveyard here in order to set a Fogblade. We're then going to activate the Silent Boots in order to find ourselves another Fogblade, which is unfortunately all we can do, and simply set that and pass turn back to our opponent, as opening 2 birds is really bad. If we were able to send a Basil Ship to the graveyard here, we would have been able to do a lot more, because we would have actually been able to push through the negation. Really unfortunate. We're playing against Tenyis. This is okay. They're going to be hit with a Shitana. Shitana! It's going to be Swap Frog. That's interesting. We can't actually hit this with a Fogblade, which really sucks. Because its as cost bounces itself back, destroying the Fogblade. Unfortunate. We are unable to stop that. That is an Anemone, which we are going to choose to hit, because Anemone is not welcome here. It is a Marincess deck from what it looks like, because I don't think any other deck would have used the frog to go into Anemone that quickly. So we'll simply go ahead and negate it immediately to make sure that it doesn't even get the chance to pop off. Totem is going to come and bring back Swap Frog, which makes perfect sense. Oh, never mind, it summons itself, I'm stupid. I forget my frog sometimes. I still love the design of Ronin Totem, though. Going into Transcode Talker here. Transcode bringing back Anemone? I'm not entirely sure. I'm assuming he's going to attempt to bring Anemone back here. That's my only legitimate guess as to what's happening. No. Okay. He could go over Bardiche here, which wouldn't make sense for him to attempt at the very least. I will stop this here as well, because I kind of need Bardiche to stay alive, so that I can try and abuse what I can do next. Simply passing to main phase 2. I'm not entirely sure he has another summon, which he doesn't, so he passes back to us, and that is one turn too late. Oh boy. Unfortunately, that doesn't really end up doing a lot for us either, but we can activate Bardiche now. Hoping that that's not something I should have hit with the Duster first. Presumably, he has an Ash in hand. It's a Dynamiscus. That does suck, but we do still get the effect of our Bardiche here. That's gonna be... Okay, we're gonna send this, and we're going to set ourselves another Fogblade. Because we do, in fact, have a Fogblade in our graveyard that will allow us to special summon the Torn Scale here. We're gonna get hit with a Skullmeister, which is exactly what we have called by the grave for, so let's get rid of that. And we get ourselves the Torn Scale. Perfect. We're gonna activate the Torn Scale here. We have to pitch the Harpies, but that is completely fine. We'll send an Ancient Cloak to the graveyard. We'll activate Ancient Cloak's effect. That is going to find us a Silent Boots. Silent Boots is going to special summon itself. And now we have a good enough way to go into Breaksword. We are going to summon Breaksword. We're going to activate it. We're going to pitch the Torn Scale to make sure that it stays. We're going to destroy this and destroy that. We're going to activate the Breaksword here, summoning both of them back again, because that's something we can do. Which, in turn... Here I actually think we kind of want to go on the defensive, which sounds really strange, and believe me, I'm there with you. But we're going to make Redoer. Now that we have Redoer, we can't actually activate Strangulator's effect like I thought we could. See, you can trigger one level 4 rated up to special. You can only use each effect. But I do have one that has dark monsters. They're both dark. Okay, it's out of its head, but that's fine. Whatever. Probably forgetting something about Strangulanius here, which is the way it is, you know. We will bop in the face here, and we'll simply pass turn on that, knowing that we have a Fogblade available, so we can play it a bit safer. During the standby phase, of course, we will activate Redoer to steal a card. We stole ourselves the Barrier Statue of Torment, which doesn't necessarily do much for us right now. Formud Skipper really sucks. We have to hit this with the Fogblade to prevent him from showing off anything. He's going to Dynamiscus here. That is fine. We're going to choose to negate that simply for the reason of not wanting him to have free reign to summon something like Toad. He will just pass turn on that, which is absolutely perfect for us. We do not mind. We'll go ahead and we will normal summon this Winder, which we will activate in order to search ourselves a Retrograde. So now we have a spell and trap negate as long as we have a Redoer on board. We're going to set this. We are going to go ahead. I don't know if you want a pop effect here. I'm pretty sure that we do. But I'm still in for the whole playing it safe deal. Unfortunately, we don't really have a trap I can summon here, but we'll activate Fogblade effect. We'll bring back your boy. Now we have another attack position monster here. More so than anything, I think we can make Soldier of Chaos here. That's probably the correct choice. So let's actually go ahead and sack these three off. Make Soldier of Chaos, which is a card that nobody in the history of a long time has seen. I don't know if this works with this battle protection. I'm not going to read it. I can't attack the other one anyway. Okay, it is not. We'll activate this. We'll banish a card on the field, so we'll banish the Formud Skipper, and we'll simply attack with our Redoer. We did forget to steal a card this turn. Yes, I'm aware. It's fine. We don't have any monster negates up now, but we do have a spell trap negate still, so we have some form of interaction. We'll go ahead and attach the top card of our opponent's deck again. We stole a spell this time. That's good, actually. Not giving him a desire. Oh, a Mandarin. That sucks. Okay, we will go ahead and pop this here. Just to draw a card. Oh my god, that is the top deck of the century. Uh-huh. Yeah, that'll probably do something. Yep. I mean, redoering into an Ash Blossom off the top is insane. But I'll definitely take that. That'll be 1-0 for the Phantom Knights. Let's go to game 2. Can you believe I just called them Phantom Knights when the Time Thieves actually did a lot in that match? Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with going second, which is horrible unless we draw into a hand trap, which we didn't. And apparently, we're still going to go first. Huh. I'm not entirely sure on this one here, because we don't really have a lot we can do off of this. We do have a single level 1 we can go into, so maybe I think we can extend. We'll simply set a card here, and we will, unfortunately, normal summon Singing Lanius. We'll activate the Shade Brigadine in order to set it up, in order to make our first Force Strix. Now that we've already used a bird, it's really unfortunate, but we are going to pitch the Shade Brigadine here in an attempt to activate the effect, but probably get ashed. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. So we'll just go ahead and we'll set 2 here, and we'll simply pass turn, as there is not much else we can do. Again, Ash hurts our deck a lot, so it's not incredibly odd for me to see that happen. DD Savant Kepler. Yikers. Okay, we're playing up against this. Ugh. Yep, Dark Hunter up at the gate. We're gonna get DDD'd. DD. I do really like DDD as a deck, though. They're really fun. For all the flack they get for being a pendulum deck, they're actually really cool. They're probably one of few pendulum decks you can, like, legitimately play these days without really being laughed at. At least I would say so. I find that to be cool. Specifically for this card right here, Swirl Slime. Swirl Slime is insane. We're not going to be able to stop it either, because we can only hit on-field monsters. So, you are good to go, buddy. You killed our bird shenanigans, and now we cannot shenanigans. He has 7th Thomas as well, but here is High King Genghis. Accept their damage, take a target DDD, special summon it. Right, this is the guy that brings things back. Correct. It all depends on how far he can really extend his board here. Because Genghis is terrifying, but the positive about fighting DDDs is that you can shut their combo down if you deal with Genghis relatively early. If we'll have the chance to do that in this game, I'm not entirely certain, though. Also, again, I apologize if my voice is quite literally killing itself during this recording, because I'm sick. Swirl Slime is going to be activated here. There is not much I can do about that. I will hit the Flame King Genghis the second he attempts to get a special summon off of it, though, because I do not want him to overextend into it. We're going to get DD Night Howl. He's going to target this. I'm actually going to hit him right here, which he is going to negate. Okay, that is fine. He used his negate on this because it's DDD. It is unfortunate. We can't do much about it. This, unfortunately, doesn't even have a target right now, which sucks. I was hoping he wouldn't shotgun it that early, thinking he had a different play, so he would just let it go through, but apparently, he's just going to shotgun it. Oof. Most likely, we are going to mega die here. Yep, Halki Fibrax is going to be met. He's going to summon another... Oh, he's going to go for Lamia. Right, Lamia is the tuner in that deck. I keep forgetting that Lamia is a tuner for some reason. Lamia has a really cool design, though. Look at that thing. It's awesome. Here is Gilgamesh. DDD Abyss King. And here is how they search their scales, for free. Thank you, Gilgamesh. This is going to get King Apocalypse out, so you banish 2 and special summon it from the Pendulum Zone, and you just extend like there's no tomorrow. He also got Swamp King off of that, which is... Yep. Here comes another Genghis, probably. Yo, it's Purple Armageddon, even. I haven't seen Purple Armageddon, I think, ever. He's actually going into battle on that, which surprises me. I would have thought he would have gone way harder. Huh. Well, unfortunately for us, that doesn't matter to us because we draw Retrograde for turn. So that is going to be a fat defeat to an Ash Blossom. But we'll go game number 3. Game number 3 against Ryu Sagi, which I believe we've seen a couple of times here on For Fun Friday so far. It's like a returning regular, even though he doesn't know this is happening. We do get to go first, which is always the best thing we can do. Can we draw a Regulator? We can't. So when we had everything else we needed in hand, a Regulator wasn't one of them. This is super unfortunate because, again, we do need a way to start our combo. So we're simply going to set 3 pass and pray we get another turn. And we're up against Cardigans. Oh god. This is one of those decks that requires a galaxy-sized brain to even remotely understand, but basically speaking, whenever you play a Cardigan, you get to draw a card and reveal it, and if that is a Cardigan, special summon it, and the loop repeats until you can do it ad infinitum, even though you can only activate each one once per turn. So basically, you do that, you get into their massive 5k beatstick monster that kind of just exists, and the best thing you can do to prevent this is to hit the Pinecone with an Ash and hope that's enough. Flower stacking is insane, though, so there's that. Here comes, with Curtain, it's going to reveal Pine, and it's going to bring out both. This is the one we have to hit with the Ash Blossom to make sure that it stops dead. We hope. He does still have the Cardigan in hand. I cannot stop you from using it, so we'll just have to see if he gets another one. We are actually going to Called by this one. This should prevent him from doing any more shenanigans. He has the Zebra Grass or whatever. It's actually Naturia Beat, which I really like. Do I believe him to have more? I'll let him get his. I can't do anything about it. He did get another Cherry Blossom. That is... Oh, it's negated, actually, because I called by the Gravedet. Oh my god, that actually worked. And we have 2,000 defense, so he can't even get over Basilship, which is fucking hilarious. It's Basilship, my dude. He can't get over it. We actually did enough to stop the Flower Cardians from popping off. Insane. And we get another Ash. Okay. Depending on what's in his hand now, we might be able to do this. We're going to go ahead and normal summon Winder. We're going to activate Winder's effect. And he scoops it up! Well, we didn't exactly get to show off anything in that game, other than the fact that you can stop Flower Cardigans, I guess. Oh well, game number 4. Alright, we're up against Nightmare Freddy, which is old memes. We're going first again. Please draw a Regulator. Why can I never draw a Regulator now? Come on. Okay, we'll go for the Torn Scales instead. Torn Scales does have the effect of letting us pitch a Raider's Wing, which is actually really helpful for us in order to send, in this case, probably a Cloak. We're going to go for the Cloak effect here in order to search ourselves the boots. We're going to special summon the boots. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to make Cherubini. Cherubini's effect is going to activate, allowing us to send another card from the deck to graveyard, and we're going to choose to send Torn Scales. We don't really have another target here. We're going to do that, and we're going to activate the Silent Boots. Silent Boots is going to get us Shade Brigandine. At this point, we're going to activate the trigger effect of one of our Torn Scales, summoning back the Torn Scales. This is going to allow us to climb back into Bardiche. Bardiche effect is going to activate. We're going to throw a Silent Boots to the graveyard, because we don't really have another target. We're going to set a Fog Blade. At this point, we don't really have anything else we can do, so we just have to set 3, pass turn. It is as good as we can do it, considering we, yet again, didn't open Regulator. I want one game where I can open Regulator and pop off. Come on. That's half of what this deck is. We could have also done the Time Thief adjuster route here, but I don't think that would have been as good. Okay, set 2. It could be Guru. It could be Shenanigans. Absolutely nobody knows. It most certainly seems like Shenanigans at this point. Drawing the driver is never fun, but at the very least here, we can start doing things. We are going to normal summon the adjuster, activating adjuster's effect in order to send a Basil ship to the graveyard. Here, we're going to activate the Shade Brigandine, which is going to allow us to summon it. And from here, we should... And we can't actually go into Wystrix here, but we already have the Soul Shave Force. We don't necessarily need to, which is decent. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to activate the effect of this, sending the adjuster, allowing us to search for Singing Lanius. We don't need to use it for its intended purpose this time around, so that's fine. We're going to go ahead and activate Basil Ship, pitching this and special summoning the Basil Ship. We are then going to have the luxury of summoning the Singing Lanius, because we can. At this point, we're going to need to start stealing materials from something else, meaning we could Wystrix here. Let's Wystrix anyway, screw it. We'll go Wystrix. We'll activate Wystrix effect here. We'll grab the Strangolanius, unfortunately, which is not the one we necessarily want to grab, but it's the one we have available to us. This does mean that one of our cards is now dead, but we already have the Soul Shave for in hand, so we don't need to worry about it. In fact, let's fire that off immediately, paying half our life points to summon back this Strix, and making an infinity on top of it. Then we have the availability to do some more shenanigans, so let's do it. Let's summon the Rebellion Exceed Dragon. This is going to activate Bardiche, and we're going to pop this back row. Super Soldier Synthesis. So we're playing, what are they called? I have one in my deck. Am I stupid? Blackluster Soldier. That's what we're playing. Okay. At this point, we have to use this effect in order to send anything to set the rank up magic force. It becomes important later, trust me. We're going to do that. We are going to probably activate Boots here. Boots is going to set another Fog Blade, meaning we now have 3 of them, so count as many negates as you want, kids. With that, we're just going to go ahead and go to battle. We're just going to poke it down, or whatever this is. It is a Super Soldier Soul. We're going to go for the Exceed Dragon attack. We're not even going to try and double anything here. We don't need to. We're going to go in for the attack here. Go in for a Wystrix smack as well. And although this was absolutely suboptimal on how to do it, now during his turn we can activate Magic Force, which is during the main phase. Keep that in mind. Right here, we're going to activate it. With that, we're going to banish the Cherubini that we no longer need. We're going to target this. And we're going to make Dark Requiem Exceed Dragon. This is going to trigger Bardiche upon Chain Resolution. And we now have 3 negates ready here, 1 negate ready here, and 3 negates in our back row. Bardiche is going to trigger. We're going to kill the face-down card. It was a Super Soldier Ritual, which was pretty handy. Now we have enough negates to literally negate anything that comes our way. Especially if it is just a face-down card. That is not going to save you, my friend. That is exactly what I thought. Although it was crusty, we did manage to do half of the combo. Now please, for the love of God, in the last game, let me open Regulator and let me actually use it. Alright, final game. It's all or nothing. Starting good. Give me a Regulator. Damn it! Again! We're just playing Phantom Knights at this point. Whatever, we'll do Rhoda. If he okay, he actually ashes this, which is good for us. We should still be able to combo off just fine here. We're going to normal summon the Basil ship, which is the weirdest thing I ever do. Summon the Shade Brigandine, which is going to allow us to do this and go into our first bird. Our first bird is going to activate, and it's important that we send Basil ship here in order to grab us Singing Lanius. At this point, we're going to activate the Basil ship, getting rid of the Shade Brigandine to summon the Basil ship. We are going to activate Singing Lanius, special summoning the Singing Lanius, and then being able to go into Wystrix. Wystrix is going to activate its effect, being able to summon Raider's Wing, which will allow us to go into our second Force Strix. Force Strix will then again activate, this time important to send Raider's Wing, in order to grab us Strangolanius. At this point, we are going to get the activation of Wystrix, which grabs us Soul Shave Force. Soul Shave Force is going to activate immediately, getting back this copy of Force Strix, which is immediately going to be overlaid for a Cyber Dragon Infinity. At this point, we're going to activate the effect of Strangulanius, and then activate the effect of our Raider's Wing, detaching whatever is here. At this point, since we're locked in the dark, we can also activate Strangulanius to bring back Singing Lanius, because extra material is always nice. At this point, we're going to go ahead and use these two monsters to make Bardiche. We're going to activate Bardiche and send ourselves a Silent Boots to set the rank up Magic Force. I believe that is the smartest play to do here. Then we're going to activate Silent Boots. Boots is going to set a Fogblade to hand, which is really, really good. Now, we're going to go ahead and summon Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon using our Raider's Wing, which is also very important. We are going to choose not to pop anything here because we're not crazy. We're going to set 2. We're going to pass. Now this is protected from monster effects thanks to the effect of our Raider's Wing, which is actually really nice. An opponent cannot target this with card effects, so this is currently untargetable. The second he plays anything here, we are going to fire off the Phantom Knight's rank up Magic Force. This will allow us to get our Requiem Dragon and sit on a couple of fancy negates. If we had opened Regulator, we would have been able to do way, way more, but apparently Regulator just likes hiding. Dark Ruler no more here would be devastating, but then we still have 2 Fogblades in the back, allowing us to do just about everything we need them to. We'll see what happens, though. A set monster is the correct answer. Very interesting. Okay, we'll just go ahead and we'll fire the rank up Magic Force here, banishing the Wystrix because we'll never need it again. Targeting this, getting ourselves the Dark Requiem in the same zone that Bardiche is in, activating Bardiche to pop that face down card, which is Trap Trick. Probably the correct choice. Trap Trick would have been hilariously bad for us. Now we're sitting on 3 monster negates from Requiem, 1 negate from Infinity, and 2 negates from our Fogblades. This is looking pretty good. All things considered, there is another set card, meaning if he has another Trap Trick, we're now able to negate that too. End phase rolls around, and nothing has happened. Gamma, you are very late. At this point, we can again activate the Basil Ship here if we'd like to steal a monster to get it back, which I think we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we are going to remove one of our negates, ironically, just getting rid of the Raider's Wing, which is going to bring him back to action. At this point, we're going to use the both of these in order to, well, win the game, I guess, because they immediately realize the jig is up. Right here, what we would have done is we could have gone into anything, really. The game was ours from the start. We had multiple negates up. There was no way he was going to survive that turn. That's awesome. Although it wasn't Regulator, it is decent enough. So I've actually gone into test mode really quickly just to show you guys how it looks when Regulator is actually used. We'll go ahead and normal summon the Regulator, immediately activating the Regulator to summon a Winder and an Adjuster. This is also the reason why we play 2 of everything, because this could happen. We'll activate the effect of Adjuster first and Winder second. Winder will grab us a Retrograde to hand. Adjuster will send Basil Ship. These 2 will create Force Strix. We're going to activate Force Strix. Here it doesn't matter what we pitch, in order to grab ourselves Singing Lanius. Now we're going to activate Basil Ship's effect, getting rid of the other card in order to special summon it before we special summon the Singing Lanius. Both of these cards, as we saw in the last duel, make ourselves Wystrix, which we will activate to summon Raider's Wing. With these 2, we are now going to go ahead and make Force Strix again, Force Strix 2, and we're going to activate the Force Strix. Here it is important that we pitch Raider's Wing. This is going to grab us Strangulanius, which is about as good as it gets. Wystrix is going to search Shape Force, which is going to be set, and we're then immediately going to fire it to special summon Infinity, acting as negate number 1. At this point, we can go ahead and activate the Strangulanius with no worries, because we don't mind being locked in the dark now. We will do that in order to special summon the Strangulanius back to the field. We'll then also go ahead and use Raider's Wing to get rid of the material off of our Force Strix to special summon that too. At this point, we'll go ahead and overlay these for our Bardiche. We're going to activate the effect of Bardiche, sending a Silent Boots to set a Shade Brigadine. We're then going to go ahead and activate the effect of Silent Boots in order to grab ourselves a rank up Magic Force. At this point, we're now going to activate Shade Brigadine, not chaining anything to it, that would be silly. And we're now set to go. 2 of these monsters, preferably Singing Lanius and Raider's Wing, is going to make Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon. The other 2 of this monsters, preferably the one that has Shade Brigadine, is going to make Time Thief Double Barrel. With this set, we're now going to set the Retrograde that we drew earlier, the Rank Up Magic Force that we drew, and any other potential Poggle Blades that we happen to have in hand, and pass turn to our opponent. During their main phase, we're going to activate the Rank Up Magic Force, banishing the Weistrix, and leveling this up into a Dark Requiem Exceed Dragon. This is going to activate Bardiche to pop whatever they played, and this is the final end board. You will end on Time Thief Double Barrel, that can increase its attack by 400 and negate 1 face-up monster. We have Dark Requiem Exceed Dragon, that acts as 3 monster negates, 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity, that is an Omni Negate, and 1 Time Thief Retrograde, that is a negate and attach of a spell or trap card. This also means we have 4 cards in hand. Given we would have set any Fog Blades that we would have had that would have acted as potential other negates, but when this combo goes off, it really goes off. So, we've now played ourselves 5 games, and generally speaking, we won a majority of them. What do we think about the deck? Well, this deck started as a joke back when Time Thieves got their new support in line with Adjuster. Phantom Thieves, with the persona hype that both I and my Discord seem to share, seemed like the perfect thing to experiment with. Obviously, this is not the most optimal way to play a deck like this. Phantom Knights work much better in a level 3 spam deck, accompanied by something like a BA or, well, any, like, Kagamucha Knight, things like this. While level 4s pair much, much better with other level 4 spammy things like Utopia or, you know, any other level 4 shenanigans deck, really. There's a couple of them. They have escaped my mind, but I know they exist. Together, they form a bit of an amalgamation that has a very easy time bricking and an even easier time dying to Ash, but when it pops off, by God does it pop off. A single Regulator, given that you don't open any birds in your hand, will get you at minimum 6 negates on the board, which is a lot for decks to deal with, considering you'll still be holding 4 cards in hand. It's incredibly fun. I'll give it that. The only negative about playing this deck is that it is fairly expensive. I actually own this complete list you can see in front of you, and for some reason Soul Shapeforce is like $25, and I've never understood why. The only card here I don't own is Blackluster Soldier. I just have another Breaksword in its place. Again, it's a flex slot. You can do whatever you want with it. But it is really, really fun. I highly suggest that if you want to get into some fun combo gameplay and flaunt your personas and style, this might be the way to do so. Now, if you enjoyed today's episode, despite me being sick and sounding raspier than, well, I think I've ever done on camera, do feel free to subscribe down below. It helps out the channel a ton. We're almost at 2K. Crazy. If you'd like to support even further than that, there's always the Patreon and YouTube membership you can join that have a ton of benefits and a lot of interactions with me if that's what you're into. Regardless, I'm going to go enjoy my coffee. I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead of you, and remember to stay safe out there.